Hi, welcome to Laura's View and Tarot 2. I am so glad you're here. Today's date is Saturday, July 20th, 2024. Before I go farther in this video, in case you don't stick around for all of it, remember tomorrow at 2 o'clock Eastern Time, we'll be having our monthly meditation. The focus will be on truth, all aspects of it. That we seek to hear and see in our daily lives and things that we just acknowledge to be true. So if truth is a topic you could lend some positive energy to, join us. Okay, well, as I said, I'm so glad you're here. I want to let you know that yesterday, when there was a large internet power outage, I wasn't affected. And apparently the entities that were most affected were our financial systems and airlines and things like that. And that is being resolved even as we speak. There's still a little aftermath. And for anybody, because of the banking aspect of it, who missed a much needed payday yesterday, I'm very sorry that that happened to you. So it's, I heard too that in Great Britain, so many people pay with their phones now that they were really, it might have been a lesson to you to keep a little bit of hard cash available and not just be ready to deal with things electronically, because electronics can be a little bit sensitive to solar flares, EMTPs, whatever. Okay, or shenanigans. And that's what we're going to look at in this video. We're going to look at a few things about yesterday's, and it's still resolving today's internet outages, and ask the tarot cards a question about it. I'm going to take you to a compilation I've got. It's by no means all the information that's out there about the situation. It's just some items that I found interesting, thought you might find interesting, and will kind of help you be able to see why we choose the particular tarot question that we do when we get into the tarot portion of this video. I'm going to take you to that compilation, and you're going to have to pay particular note on one thing that I'm going to point to. You need to read. Okay, I've got to be careful about what I say. So let's go to that share screen. It'll be clear to you here in just a minute. Okay, I found this interesting. It was an anonymous on one of the alt media sites that I sometimes venture into. They had a theory about what may have caused the cyber issues yesterday. And you can read about that they didn't think it was some random attack, but a sophisticated and highly targeted attack on some infrastructure. Now, if you would like to read the thread that this was part of, here's where you have to pay attention. Okay, there was more than this. There were some comments. It's now archived and turned off. But if you would like to read all the comments that kind of flowed around this topic and this theory, you can go to, see here, the second comment. You can copy and paste this, but you have to do this after you do that. Before you hit search, remove the 3 capital T's that were inserted in this. So it's not yet a good link, but Facebook won't allow the good link, and I had to damage it a little bit so that it could be posted. Simple though. If you know how to copy and paste, you're going to know how to go in and remove three letters so that the link works. So there you go, folks. That was the listen close part, okay? Because that's going to take you to an organization that is not very well appreciated along mainstream outlets, okay? Now, I want to make sure I get all the comments in here. Okay, so some anons noted that there are several content creators on X or Twitter, however you think of it, that say the outage is a white hat military operation. CrowdStrike is tied to election machines. Okay, and I have an article that mentions that down here, very mainstream articles, so I'm not always going to alt media sites for you, and I want YouTube to like what I say, so I try to occasionally include MSM items that don't have too much bias in them, that actually are fairly practical. All right, now, another non-noted, while the CrowdStrike CEO went on a tangent about how complicated cybersecurity is when asked about a bug in the software update, and Anon noted that, LOL, complicated? Bro, it's a BSOD. Now, I had to look that up. I found two possible meanings for BSOD. Both of them are humorous, okay? Blue screen of death is one, which refers to some of those idiot messages that come up that say that there's been an error in your machine, and basically you just have to restart it. So in other words, a very easy fix. Another one, okay, could stand for BS overdose. And you know what BS stands for. I don't have to tell you that. Okay, but their point was, if this was a bug in software updates, that's literally the single easiest thing to find when testing an update, before you make it go live. And they said, just like the SS director, okay, Secret Service director, I think they're exposing themselves, hiding malice behind a veil of incompetence. We saw that this week. The excuses being made by the Secret Service are beyond asinine. Okay? But it's deliberate. They are hiding malicious acts and shenanigans behind a veil of incompetence. And the theory is possibly that the CrowdStrike CEO is doing the very same thing. Hey, if that's a popular playbook with the shenanigans crowd, now they need to get away from it, okay? That's just, too much. Okay, now here's a CNN article that kind of tells you who was affected yesterday and what was going on. And like I said, it seemed to be fairly factual, so I included it. I also included one from today from MSN.com that talks about how this global computer outage was affecting some of the election machinery. So now we get to the question. It was speculated in the Anon community. Well, it's being postulated that this was a white hat operation. And then the hypothesis is that, which is simply, as you know, a hypothesis is a question. It becomes a theory when there seems to be some facts that could support and substantiate your question. We're going with hypothesis here. The hypothesis is, what if this was a white hat operation to start the cleanup so that there will, if there is an election, there will be honest results with integrity? Let's ask the universe if that's what's kicking off. Okay. A plan, a well thought plan to guarantee some balloting integrity this time out. Let's find out. I'm going to switch the camera. You can watch over the cards and we'll see what they have together. But again, there's going to be a yes or no element to the question. That is there truth to the alt media chatter, that this is a white hat operation, and specifically that it is one possibly intended to do some cleanup of balloting machinery, or balloting procedures and machinery. Okay, we got the question established. Let's see what the cards want to tell us. So our question respectfully is there truth in the alt media chatter that the IT outage that primarily hit CrowdStrike, which is, you can read about what that company provides and does, was and it affected banks and air traffic and other infrastructure items yesterday. Is there truth to the alt media chatter that that was a white hat operation? And that the white hat operation may involve making sure there's some clean and honest, truthful balloting in any upcoming balloting opportunities. Let's see. Okay, we have a white hat card showing up right away with the Knight of Swords. So we got already a yes pretty much on that white hat element of the question. Then we have the Three of Cups. Justice. Hello, Justice. I love seeing you. Ooh, the Moon. Queen of Cups. The Star. 17th Major Arcana. And the Page of Swords. All right, let's take a look at these cards that we've got so far. We'll get a couple more. I'm not going to touch the deck until we do and see what they want to tell us. Okay, first of all, as I said, as soon as it came down, this card is one of my white hat cards, and it's one about taking action, not being maybe being more the action part of a white hat action, not the planning and strategy. But yeah, so he is implementing strategies and protocols that have been chosen by those above him. And he does so with gusto. Absolutely. So yeah, this was a white hat action. Absolutely. We got confirmation right there. Okay. Now we got the Three of Cups. Since this wasn't a read that might involve our little ones, I'm not going to worry about what might be in the cups. It's simply traditional meaning is that there's an opportunity here for some moderate celebrating, that we can be, it was successful. It's saying yes, it was a white hat action. It was successful. Now, the reason why is justice. Folks, it is just time for some, we need balloting that has integrity and results that are genuine, whether we like them or not, but they're genuine, so that we don't have selection processes. We have, I can't use the E word without getting too stifled here on YouTube, but balloting results. Okay. The moon card is indicating an ending here. Okay, now first of all, also this card often talks about lies and half-truths. So the truth of what the focus of that IT outage is not going to be told. They're going to be lying about it. They're lying about it now. But we know when it's the mainstream, finding something that's true and unbiased is incredibly difficult. Incredibly. If it wasn't, who would be listening to something like me where I look at a current event and then ask the tarot cards, because they're more honest than the mainstream media is. But yeah, we're going into a time where, yeah, enough's enough and the plan's moving ahead. Queen of Cups. Okay. This is a near future cards here. And I think they're really, really special. The Queen of Cups is kind of giving us a nod to the fact that use your intuition, use your inner knowing when you hear the news and parsing out the fact from the fiction, okay, the narrative from the truth. This card always advises us to just be thoughtful, be, intuitive as much as we have the ability to, and use our discernment. But again, another white hat, this is the 17 team because it's the 17th card and it is the star card, which is a major arcana and always indicates that just things are moving in the right direction. Okay. And it's a beautiful card to indicate. I'm just so glad that the 17 team is 17 and it's a very special number and it's a very special card. So Page of Swords is on the other side here, it giving us a little further insights and information. And this is one truth. Okay. And yeah, so there is the effort here is involving having more truth, more reliable results in what is tallied and shared. And yeah, so that definitely have a yes to the white hat action. And yes, to the fact that it's an effort to have more truth in what, and justice is on it. Let's get some more cards and see what the universe wants us to know. Okay, this is my Mr. B card, but in general, the Five of Cups is just a card of kind of some sadness, and it's kind of to me, it's a lack of a broad perspective, because here this guy has 40% of whatever was in the cup still available to him, and he's crying over spilt milk and doesn't realize he's still got something to work with. But yeah, I think it's also an indication too that they inflated some results in the past by 60%. Okay, and he's touching the Justice card, and dang if he doesn't need to. Queen of Wands, giving us a little further insight here. Now, Queen of Wands is pretty insightful, okay, and can be very blunt. And again, that's getting into the truth, which is what we want. We want to do away with the lies and get to the truth of what our world is, who's in our world, who's doing what in our world. It's all part of that truth venture that we're getting into. And that's one of the reasons why truth is going to be our primary focus in tomorrow's meditation. Let's get 2 more cards. The world. Oh, good. All right, we're ending on a high note here, guys, because the world is just telling us that while this outage has particular significance to the balloting upcoming in the United States, if we get to that on this timeline, it is something that affects the world in a very good way, with results we're all going to be happy with. So there we have it for the question of what was kind of behind and going on. Was it a white hat action or just one of those random bug in the update things like they tried to claim? Well, hello, Allie. We've got a visitor. My furry co-host has decided to show up. Okay, let's recap, and then I can let Allie have the tarot table for her nap like she wants. We examined in closer detail the IT outage that affected airlines around the world yesterday, banking. Some large institutions were affected by it. It's still getting cleaned up. CrowdStrike was the entity that was most affected by this. There was apparently a hack of their system, or they're claiming it was a bug in an update they had. And we looked at that and just said, there's some alt media chatter that outage actually was a white hat action, and that white hat action may possibly have had something to do with balloting issues or balloting machinery, because those were also affected by this outage. So it was a white hat action to start a very much needed cleanup of balloting things. That was kind of where we went with our thought and question. Well, first card that came up indicating what was going on, the white hats. Yeah, so we got a confirmation right away that the white hats were involved with the outage, and they're happy with the progress and what was done there. I've also heard some alt media chatter that during this outage, it was also an opportunity to pick up some deep state players. So if we get information about that, we'll take a look at it, okay? But I'm saying that that's probably, I did mention this during the read, I'm so sorry, but justice showed up as the near a recent past. So that kind of confirms for me the thought that there was some, while we're doing this, let's do that. It's like, well, I'm running to the post office, I'm going to stop and get some milk at the grocery store too. So I just make one trip. So one operation may have had a couple of objectives, and those might have involved justice, but partly with the cleanup that this was engendering, that is part of the justice process itself. Now, in the current situation, we got the moon showing up, and I'm actually not sorry to see this. The moon card can make your stomach drop sometimes, because it can talk about endings and lies and just not happy outcomes, okay? But if this is a white hat action and they're happy with it, that means that this card is indicating what's going on with the shenanigans gang, that they're unhappy. Also, they're trying to come up with a spin and explain what that outage was about and how little it affected things and what have you. The CrowdStrike CEO may be trying to hide behind some incompetence, just like the Secret Service director has, rather than to obscure their malice that may have gone on. Something to think about. Near future, we were told, keep it up, okay? As you listen to things, listen with discernment, parse out facts from fiction, narrative from truth, and keep doing what we're doing, because we're doing it well. The strongest advice and insight card was, yeah, this is part of the white hats. Absolutely, the 17 card. And they're happy with the results. We got that with the 3 of Cups. They achieved some of their objectives, and maybe a few more than they had actually anticipated. Page of Swords is showing up. Worthwhile effort. What they did was worthwhile. Our efforts to demand truth and integrity in systems and processes, it's bearing fruit, guys. It really, really is. Okay, so shenanigans gang with, their mascot, because he's not really a player. You know how the mascot represents the team, but the team actually does the playing. 46's team is not very happy right now. So sad. Too bad. Get sadder. Get consequenced. Page of Wands says, we're getting into an era of more truth and more truthfulness, and that is fabulous. It's going to be painful for those that have been hiding behind deceit, deception, and misdirection and lies, but it's what we need. And ultimately, looking good, folks. We're going to be really happy with these results. And these results, even though the balloting part of CrowdStrike was a US impact, there were ripples that are going to be felt worldwide, and we're going to be really happy with those ripples. So bring on the ripples. So that's it for this video. I thank you so much for your time and your attention. And each and every one of you that subscribe or listen, you're valued. You have worth. You deserve to be here, and I'm glad you are. If you're willing to receive it, to each and every one of you, because I'm a conduit, so I won't run out, I send you love and light and wish for you everything bright. Hopefully you got some goosebumps. Those are from me. Bye.